I want to change who I am and actually want to fully commit to being a different person. I don't know if I should give myself a timeline, but I just finished meditating and I got 3 messages. First one being, if you let the mind lead the way, you choose bondage. Or if you let the mind lead the way, you choose to be limited. Yeah, when I was meditating, I got these like very like strict teacher tone. It wasn't gentle, but also wasn't like harsh. Anyways, the second thing I got was, you do not know what is best for you if you live through fear. Okay, thanks. And then I was like, how do I actually commit to changing as a person? And consistency was the answer. And most importantly, the conscious decision to, in every moment, to choose the truth of who you are, of who you believe yourself to be. And I wanted to continue meditating and like sit in silence, but it felt like the wrong move. It felt like I had to get started right away. And so from this point on, I feel like I have no other choice. And I have to take myself, or committing to my true self, more seriously. And there's a book that comes to mind. Let's see if I can find it. Since the priority is obviously like, oh, there it is. Catching up with my inner being and basically retraining my mind and my body and my human to, I guess, correspond with what my truth is and who I really am. I have to, yeah, train it. And so this is the book that came to mind that I had. I read it before. I don't really fully remember the takeaways from it. I wonder if I left annotations in it. Oh, it's very dusty. Oh, I did. So yeah, this will be the first step, and I will update you when I have something else to say. I think I got what I needed from the book. I'm like halfway through it. I'm gonna, I guess, try to read the rest, but more passively, less looking for answers. I did learn some things. I learned how we are kind of in a hypnotic state more often than we think. You're on a long, familiar drive and you already know where you're going, and you kind of just turn off your brain and you end up at your location somehow. Or if you're daydreaming, like if you're in a trance kind of state, then you're in a hypnotic state, therefore you're in a more susceptible state. And really, hypnotism in general is about getting in a relaxed state and speaking or communicating with your subconscious. I learned about what masochism is, autosuggestion, and suggestion in general, and how we are kind of susceptible to outside influence, even if it's uncalled for. But that's really the main points that I got from it so far. I'm definitely am going to use the techniques to implement new traits. I think what I'm going to try first is something simple, like getting myself to wake up early, going or get myself to like fix my sleep schedule. We'll try it out. But I want to move forward from focusing on the book, from relying on the book, into, I guess, what I'm feeling called to move forward towards. Next step for me, I feel like, and I did this previously, it's identify traits of the old version of me, so that whenever those traits kind of show face, I can, wake up and realize that, oh, this is the old me that's trying to still exist. The traits that I can identify currently would be complaining / judgment. I used to carry this belief that at a higher level, if you're complaining about something, you're complaining about yourself. And it's just a dark spiral that we don't want to contribute to. And judgment, I feel like I do it so naturally, whether it be on myself or on other people or on just things in general. It just doesn't feel like a efficient use of my energy. So I want to consider that part of my old self. There's another thing too. Let me try to remember. Defending my limitations. I tend to view anything that's beyond me, I guess. For example, my dreams, my goals. If they are above me, or they're more than what I have right now, it's so easy for me to focus on it not working, or focus on how I am not there yet, or the reasons why I can't be there yet. And while I think it's good to recognize where I currently stand, I also think it's good to recognize where we could be. And I want to give more light to the potential, to the outcome that I actually desire. And I feel like that's just a better use of my energy and my time. So essentially believe more in myself and doubt myself less, or at a minimum, or just not at all. And yes, that's specifically what I've been doing, what I want to do moving forward from here. In the meantime, like while we're doing this whole thing, like committing to changing, I'm becoming more observational about what's going on internally. I'm learning something new about myself that I never really fully faced. And it's the fact that I tend to pick up on external energy that's not mine. Like, for example, if I were to enter into a space feeling completely fine, and then all of a sudden having this feeling of exhaustion and just tired come over me, I used to not know what to do with that, but now I'm realizing, like, okay, maybe I just have the ability to feel external energy. So now I'm learning to, this is kind of off topic, but I'm learning to set up energetic armor, how to cope with said feelings that aren't mine, how to distinguish what feelings are mine and what feelings are not mine. With that, I'm learning that if there's potential to be affected by external energy, and if I'm doing completely fine by myself, that means there's a possibility that I can go throughout my day, go throughout my life, not being affected at all by external energy. And I guess my goal is not to always be happy, always feel good, because I know feeling not good is just part of life. But I think my main goal is to limit unnecessary not good feelings and maximize the opportunity for feeling good, because that's just a aspect of the truer version of me. Like, feel good more often than I don't. And then last thing before I leave again, I kind of had this thought on my way home. I'm just noticing that throughout my life, these, I guess, spiritual awakenings that I have, I don't really consider them that anymore, but that's what I would call them. So far, it feels like my life has just been a series of forgetting who I am, going with external energy, going with what other people are doing, even though it doesn't really align with who I am. Having a moment that, having a moment of realization that the things that I'm doing, contributing to, behaviors that I inhabit, thought patterns that I have are not in alignment with who I am, and then focusing on who I am actually, and then forgetting all again. And it's just a cycle of, I guess, constantly losing myself in this world, in society, and my environment, and then having to find myself again. But I feel like, thankfully, every time I do find myself again, it's always a better experience. It's always, I feel like, a more accurate representation of who I'm striving to be. So that's it for now.